The reason that I love this lucid dreaming induction technique is because it really is the perfect blend of dream work and lucid dreaming for a purpose like self-care and personal development. This is the strengthening intentions practice from the Tibetan practice of dream yoga. You do it every night before bed. It's a type of meditative practice that you use to settle your body, settle your mind, to release stress and release tension from your day before going into sleep. And it also works to help you become lucid in your dreams. My name is Aaron. I'm a certified life coach and I specialize in dream work and lucid dreaming for self-care and personal development. And this is a part of my Dreamwork Basics series where I'm teaching you the foundations of the art of using your dreams and lucid dreaming for self-care and personal development. Now, I could do an entire video on dream yoga, if not multiple videos, but what I think is important for you to know is that this practice comes from the preliminaries. I actually suggest you do read this book, The Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. You will be able to locate this exercise within this text, and it's going to cover a lot more of the background as well as the intricacies of dream yoga that I'm not going to be able to explain. But this strengthening intentions technique, once again, is one that you do before bed. It is a meditative, kind of like a reviewing the day. You review the day of any stressful moments, any moments of heightened emotion, experiences especially that you are holding on to. If somebody said something about you, if something didn't go the way you wanted it to go, if you've had a sort of troublesome day, then this practice can help you release stress from that in the bed. Also carry this intention of becoming lucid in the dream state tonight. So I want to read the exact section from the text. That way you can hear it just as I first heard it. There's also a discussion that he had and it was recorded. It's somewhere here on YouTube, and he's actually explaining this practice. I've listened to this before. I just suggest that you listen to it. I am going to put a link to that video. I'm going to find it and put a link to that video below this one. This is the third preliminary strengthening intentions. The third preparation involves reviewing the day before going to sleep and strengthening the intention to practice during the night. As you prepare for sleep, allow the memories of the day to arise. Whatever comes to mind, recognize as a dream. The memories most likely to arise are those experiences strong enough to affect the coming dreams. During this review, attempt to experience the memories that arise as memories of dreams. Memory is actually very similar to dream. Again, this is not about automatic labeling, a ritual of repeating "it was a dream" over and over. Try to truly comprehend the dreamlike nature of your experiences, the projections that sustain it, and feel the difference of relating to experience as a dream. Then develop the strong determination to recognize the dreams of the night for what they are. Make the strongest intention possible. Know directly and vividly, while dreaming, that you are dreaming. Then develop the strong determination to recognize the dreams of the night for what they are. Make the strongest intention possible to know directly and vividly, while dreaming, that you are dreaming. The intention is like an arrow that awareness can follow during the night, an arrow directed at lucidity in dream. The Tibetan phrase we use for generating intention translates as sending a wish. We should have that sense here, that we are making prayers and intentions and sending them to our teachers and to the Buddhas and deities, promising to try to remain aware and asking for their help. There are other practices that can be done before falling asleep, but this is one available to all. So I'm actually appreciative that it ends on this last sentence, because I have also heard that the individuals whose lineage this comes from, they say that this practice, dream yoga, is open to everybody. It's not something that you have to be of any faith, that you have to take any vows or anything to do. It is a practice that anybody can do. And the practice of dream yoga is transformative, especially when you think about it from a place of personal development and self-care. So briefly going back through this section, it says review the day before going to sleep. So you'll settle down, review the day. If you know a meditative practice like mindfulness meditation, or even if you're able to just take some deep breaths and then sit for a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Don't be in a particular rush. Be in a space, in a place where you're free to be in the present moment and just say, I'm being here. Come down and then start to allow the events that kind of frustrated you or triggered you or cause some distraction for you to arise. And when they're arising, you're trying to actually feel them. You want to feel those emotions as you first felt them, as closely as you can. But you don't want to engage with the memory. You know, sometimes you have these shower conversations, as I like to call them, or like conversations that come to your mind when you're washing the dishes and you're trying to get back what you feel like you should have said and you didn't say. It's not that. So it's not engaging with what comes up. It is resting and allowing it to come up so that you can clearly look at it and clearly perceive it for what it is. And looking at it in the moment, that experience seems so serious and so real and so concrete. You were really there in that moment. You felt those emotions. And that's very similar to how it is when you're in a non-lucid dream. When you're in a non-lucid dream, the event, the dream, the experience, the external environment, the situation, everything, it's very real because you're attached to it and you're that close to it. So that's what it means by saying, realizing that those events are dreamlike. They're like a dream. They're as a dream. Now, when you're reviewing them, it's just like it was a memory. It was a dream that you woke up from, and now you see the experience for what it is. So you go through this practice of settling, allowing the experience to come back over you, fully emotionally processing it, and then realizing it that it's like a dream, and release the event. You no longer need to carry it with you when you go to sleep, because you're also doing this practice to clear your body and your mind of that tension, of that grasping to the event, because it's also more likely that you're now going to have a dream about whatever happened during the day. This is what is known as daytime residue in the West. In the East, they will probably refer to it as karmic traces. You typically dream about what you've experienced during the day, processing those events, especially ones that you held strongly to and you didn't let go. Now you're going to carry it to sleep and you're going to probably dream about that. We have all had that experience. So processing the events before you go to sleep allows you to let go of that energy so that you can sleep, and sleep restfully and peacefully. But in this sense, it also is being used in this tradition to even go a step further and say, okay, now I am aware that I was dreaming in that moment. That was very much a dream. That was very dreamlike. I see it for what it is now, and when I go to sleep, I'm about to go to sleep, and when I go to sleep, I'm gonna dream. So the next time I'm dreaming, I'm gonna realize I'm dreaming while I'm dreaming. I know right now I'm about to be dreaming. It's, gonna happen pretty soon. So try this practice before you go to sleep. If you feel like you want to give it a go, I have created a guided meditation that you can do. It's about 20-25 minutes. You'll do it in the bed before you go to sleep. So you've settled down, you've taken your shower, now you're in bed, you're ready to go to sleep, and you'll go ahead and turn this meditation on. I will include the link to it in the description box below, as well as tagging it somewhere on the screen. Now, I know you're here learning about different tools and techniques that you can use in order to improve your well-being. But remember, if you're only learning intellectually but you're not actually practicing, then you won't see those changes. If you want to practice with me, join my group Sacred Sunday Space via Patreon. It's only $15 a month, and we have between 2 and 4 live self-care practices each month. It's no cameras, come as you are, and even though it's a group practice, it's designed to make you feel comfortable and at home in your private sacred space. I personally create and guide you through a well-rounded self-care routine that includes techniques like mindfulness meditation, yoga nidra, breath work, yin yoga, journaling, goal setting, and so much more. You also get access to my mindfulness meditation classes, as well as Patreon exclusive practices and early releases. Now, my personal goal is to get 50 people in my Patreon group before the end of the year. That way, I can personally assist you in making positive transformations and changes in your life. Truly, your support is immensely appreciated. I'll put the link to my Patreon in the description box below. Check it out, and now back to your tutorial. And if you are interested in lucid dreaming, definitely check this book out, The Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. It teaches you about the practices of dream yoga. So you have non-lucid dreams, you have lucid dreams or conscious dreaming. And then when you take it to the point that you have this intention to use dreaming for a spiritual purpose, a higher purpose, then I would say this is further on the spectrum, and this is what I would classify as dream yoga. So this teaches this system. Sleep yoga extends beyond that, and it is consciousness in the dreamless sleep state. So you can think of yoga from the word yog, meaning to stretch or to yoke. So you're stretching consciousness into these states where normally you don't experience consciousness. So this is the yoga of stretching the consciousness into dream, and the yoga of stretching consciousness, awareness into sleep. I will include the link to this text in the description box below. While you're down there, go ahead and check out all of those resources. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you go ahead and do that, especially if you are interested in the art of using your dreams and learning to lucid dream and liminal dream, especially for the purpose of self-care and personal development, because that's what I'm going to be teaching you here. In the meantime, in between time, here are 2 more videos though that YouTube thinks that you would enjoy.